Well, hello, happy holidays, happy new year, all my Virgo friends. This is your annual 2020 reading for Virgo. So I hope you had okay holidays. Um, I've already been shuffling a while and kind of thinking about you and wondering what last year was like for you. I didn't do annual readings for Virgos last year. Since this is a fairly new channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, donate anytime you want. Of course, I probably need a better camera. Hopefully the vocals are good, the visuals are what they are. But we are using the Eye in the Sky Tarot for our annual readings. And I'm going to probably use different decks for monthly readings and then yearly readings. So um, this is our all-knowing Eye in the Sky. Boom, boom. And that is for Virgo for 2020. So we're going to kick it right off with January. What we're going to do is we're going to start with how the year is going to start, move into spring, summer, and then how the end of the year will be for you. Okay? So, yeah, a new year. The Fool, good. So maybe this is a sign that you're kind of leaving a lot of the past behind you from last year and just kind of like saying, forget 2019. We're just going to start this year almost like fresh start, and it sounds like that's definitely something you're going to do. Good, we've got some peace in January. That's the Two of Swords, and the swords are facing down. So that means January is starting without a fight. Things are a little more copacetic, maybe the Seven of Cups. So that's an interesting card. The Seven of Cups has 6 cards up and six of the cups, let me show you. 6 of the cups are upright, so 6 of them are full, but the one in the middle, the one you're focusing on, is upside down. So that card can mean that you have unrealistic expectations sometimes. It can also mean kind of like building castles in the sky, We kind of dream things in our mind and we think everything is a certain way and it's not. Now, the only problem with that, because I do believe in dreaming, and I think you have to dream big and all that stuff, but sometimes when we, fool ourselves or we, have overly ambitious expectations, it leads us to disappointment. So that card says maybe there's a little letdown, from the holidays. Maybe the holidays were a letdown. Maybe last year was a letdown, actually, because last year had a lot of, it was a 1 numerologically, and 1 is just it's ace energy, but it's really kind of harsh, and it's kind of unfinished. It's like raw sugar. It's just, it's so dynamic, and that's not really the Virgo way. Virgos don't like that. They like copacetic and beauty and appreciation and civility and things of that nature. So this all kind of makes sense for you starting the year. Peace, kind of starting all over, maybe taking off divinely in a new direction, just kind of chucking it all to the wind and going, this year's going to be different, and I'm going to just make it different and surprise people and do things that maybe I wasn't expected to do or I wasn't going to do. Don't worry about what they say. There's always haters. Mother of Swords. That's the Queen of Swords in a lot of decks. Courage, 7 of Wands. Yeah. So it seems like maybe you're going to, see, you want a chance to shine. You're going to shine. So it seems like your thinking is completely different. Your mind is just heading off in a completely different direction. Queen of Swords, the King of Swords is problematic. The Queen of Swords is good. The King of Swords, he's someone who has a lot of mental power, but some of those sword airy men don't accomplish much, or not until much later. The feminine sword energy is much more effective. It's very discerning, can be cold, but it's clear mental energy that works out. And so obviously with the star coming up, that's saying that's actually going to work out for you. The star energy means you're going to get to be your true self. But before the star is usually the tower, which means you've probably been through a lot. I'm guessing last year was a lot for you. The tower, I said usually the tower comes before it, and you have the tower right there. So, yeah. So maybe there's actually a few things that are finishing up, or the tower coming up. That's crazy. I can't believe it did that, because I really did shuffle and you saw me cut. So there's no way that was fake. Anyway, that's like shedding your skin, It's you usually the tower comes first and then the star, but it doesn't matter. They're right next to each other. So you know, um, either way, that's you coming into your own, you being in your element, you shining freshly, like with a fresh coat, your new skin, like a snake that just shed, just gleaming and feeling good, and the universe, awesome. So that tells me, yeah, that's a total completion cycle for you. And the Four of Cups. Now, this silly deck calls it mixed happiness. I don't really like that it says it's mixed happiness. I usually think of it as opportunities being offered to you. When they say mixed happiness, what they mean is it's kind of like, say it's someone offers you your dream job, but you don't like the location, it's a longer commute. Or it's your dream job, but the money is maybe not what you want it to be. You know, or the money's great, but it's the hours aren't wonderful. So it's having like, you know, 8/10 of everything. It's a great offer, but it's not perfect. There's something in the offer that you need to consider whether it's worth it to you. But it's a great offer, but it will require a little bit of sacrifice. You'll have to give on one in one particular mode. A lot of times, that's a love. It's like it's an offering of marriage. It's a serious offer of marriage, but maybe he's boring, or maybe he's great but he doesn't have a lot of money, or maybe she's beautiful but she's you know really super social, or she's a shopaholic. It's saying it's a great offer. So when I say it's mixed happiness, it's not mixed happiness, it's just 3/4 of what you want, but it's a great offer. So for some people, do it, especially if there's something you've been wanting for a long time and it comes along. That might mean, this is a really good offer. Nothing is perfect. Another way to look at it is nothing is perfect. So if it has, do your pros and cons column. If it checks off, 8 out of 10 of your pros, but it has 2 cons, so what? Nothing is perfect. Take it. The tower, the universe. Yeah. So the universe says that you've done your homework. You're a completed person. You don't need to learn anything else right now. You need to just take what you know, take your experience, trust in all that, and go out as a whole completed person. You don't need input. You don't need people's opinions. You don't need training. You need to trust yourself and take everything you have available to you and go with that. I'm having a hot apple cider. I'm not going to show you my cup because that would be advertising. I don't think I'm allowed to advertise, but this time of year, right before the holidays, I crave those hot cider drinks. So that's what I'm doing. That way, too, you can have something warm at night without getting all jacked up on caffeine. Son of Wands. Okay. Justice. All right. Things are finishing up. The Hermit. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's really interesting. You had the Star here, and then you have the Hermit. So it's kind of like maybe you're going to go out there, kind of shine for a while, and then for some reason you're going to withdraw. The Hermit is you going in, kind of feeling like you don't need any more outside influence. It's kind of pulling back. Now that pulling back can be because you're doing so much work. You're dedicating yourself to something so deeply that you need your alone time. It could also be because it's coming up next to the Four of Cups. So that tells me that you're going to be either retreating to yourself at night because you're working so hard and you're putting so much energy in something, or because maybe you've settled into a relationship and you're just not social anymore. You're done. You don't need to be out there shining and gleaming and socializing. You're going to be content. But everything is balancing out justice. We have justice, and under it we had the Knight of Wands. Wands usually pertain to reputation, to work, like how people see you. So, and it's justice. So that's the scales of balance. It's not judgment, it's justice. So that usually means if someone owes you something, or you owe someone something, it's things kind of getting on an even keel. And I always like when I see the Justice card, because that's Libra. It says, well, whatever's out of whack, it's going to come back into whack. So if you have a karmic debt or a materialistic debt, or you owe someone something or they owe you something, it's time, the piper will be paid. Things will, and they don't always come from that source. Sometimes something bad happens to you in one from one person or one source, and something great comes from a completely different source. Sometimes karma evens itself out for you, but it doesn't necessarily come from who it should come from or who you think it'll come from. It's just the universe making things even, okay? Ace of Cups, defeat. Interesting. Daughter of Wands. Okay. Very interesting. Son, daughter. So this is, we have a young male, young female. These are both wand energy. That's air. That's fire. That's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So, and we've got love in the middle of that. So that's really interesting. Defeat on top of it. 5 of Swords change. I'm not quite sure. I want some clarity on that because that doesn't make 3 of Cups. Okay. So I think maybe someone had a broken heart, that the Son of Wands defeat. Maybe someone cheated, or there was something, it didn't work out, or, something dishonest happened, or divorce. Then, because we have Ace of Cups here, which is a new cup, and then 3 overflowing. So that seems like maybe there was a break, there was a split, something happened, and now things are starting new, and they're going to wind up actually finally happening in the 3 of Cups. That's January, February, March, April, May, June. So it looks like summertime. We've got new love. The 3 of Cups also can be a baby. 3 is the number of fruition. It can also be getting a pet. It can be adoption. It can be mentoring someone. Maybe it's a teacher. Maybe this 3 of Cups, maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're teaching summer school, because it's fruition. It's fertility. It's things around you. It's having something to care for. You see, that's really what it is. So what kind of things do you care for? It's not a 3 of Pentacles, so I don't think it's a new business. It's love. So it's like your family is growing in some way. Maybe you're meeting a best friend who's like your kid, or, maybe you're starting to volunteer somewhere and you're helping at an old folks home or something like that, or you just meet someone that becomes so close that it's an extension of family. So often kids, pets, you tell me, it's your life. Father of Swords. Ugh, I don't like him, usually. And 4 of Stones. Okay. Father of Swords. So this could be a job offer with a guy. 4 of Stones is money. It's success and money. It's a foundation of money. What it says is that money's going to be good. Come summer, it looks like things are going to balance out for money. That's July. But you're not sure, because with the 4 comes kind of a fear. With the 4 of Pentacles, it's a fear. It's like, oh, is this really going to last? Is this for real? Yeah, it is. But it's because it's new and because it's solid, it's scary. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not used to this, Is the other shoe going to drop? Is something going to happen? No, not necessarily. It's just, it takes a while before you can trust things. It's like when you meet someone and you're not sure, is it going to last? It's having those questions, having reservations. But this card is really, in a way, it's an assurance. Yeah. See, all the junk you've been through, 10 of Wands, all those swords are down. The wands are down. It's an ending of a bad cycle, you see. So, yeah. You're kind of starting the year fresh, but then it seems like maybe some things are still going to keep popping up, and then they're all pretty much done by July. So that's a good sign. That means that, whatever that was, that kind of earlier glitch, I want to say maybe this justice glitch with the 5 of Swords. So it looks like there might, you're going to have a good summer with love, but something could be moving, it could be changing jobs, could be a false start in a relationship. I don't want to say miscarriage because it was surrounded by all these cups. I just would hate to say that, but could be maybe you start an adoption process and it takes longer, or you're trying to get pregnant and it takes longer, or maybe you meet someone and they live far away and it's just taking a while to actually reconnect. It's a hard thing to deal with being in two different places, or maybe someone's going off to school, you know. Maybe, you know, come summer they realize, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going away to college, and so there's distance, because a 5 is, it's movement, it's communication, it's motion, but it's difficulty. But then that difficulty ends here just a couple months later. So that's really good. All new energy coming, because after the 10 comes the Ace of Wands, which is just, it's just perfect energy, like you being honed, just fresh. And so it looks like there's a couple, it looks like in a couple areas, I'm going to think both in career and in love, there's, or family and career, there's kind of like starting new, things kind of go good, and then there's like a kind of a readjustment happening around the summertime. Yeah. Yep, yeah. So there's something, I'm asking, like, what else is there to deal with it? It's saying 7 of Swords. So yeah, it sounds like something is, so work is good. 3 and 9, yeah. So the money's going to be good. It seems like there's, you know, someone in your periphery come summertime that is going to maybe come into your life, and then it could be you're changing doctors, changing relationships. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting, but financially things are going to be really good. I think it's actually going to be more. Well, it's either love or work, but work is going to wind up being good, and because we've got the 9 of Stones and the 3 of Stones, you're not only going to wind up being financially well off, but you're going to wind up being recognized for your work. You see, you're putting out a product, an end product. What you're doing is being noticed, because sometimes we get paid, we work really hard, we get paid, but we don't get any, we don't get any credit for it or no pat on the back. The 3 says that you're going to be noticed. You're going to get that acknowledgement that feels so good, you know. It's one thing to have the money, and of course that feels good. But it's another for someone to say, hey, thank you, you know, that's a job well done. That was really great. You know, we appreciate that. That's awesome. We see what you're doing. And that's actually what's going to wind up happening next fall. Yeah. And I think it's going to bother someone, interference. But not to worry, the Chariot. That is Mother of Cups. Interesting. Fertility, generosity. Yeah, so I'm not sure what your end result was exactly, you know, but whatever your end result was, or your dream is, that what you're really, you know, in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, I really want this. The Chariot card, and I love the Chariot card, it's the boat is red, that's passion. The splashing, all this up here, that's yellow, that's happiness. But you see the wolf, but he's being held back by this person. You have both the forces of positive and negative, but they're balanced out. You see the Cancer card? So that's protection. That can be a Cancer person in your life that is protecting you. That's a, June 22nd to July 21st person. But it also says your dream is going to come true, but not on your timeline. What that means is it's not your wish, your dream. You don't get a direct line to the dream. It's like there was a detour. They're working on the freeway. So don't worry, you're going to get there. You're going to wind up where you want to be. But it's like you're going, and then boom, boom, beeline, and then you get there. Okay. So I think one of the most important things I like to say that, I looked at the bottom of the deck, the 8 of Stones. So again, that's a really good card. So what that says is you have to keep planting your seeds. When you plant seeds, you know, it's winter right now. You cut back your roses. You have to, you have to still maintain your garden. You can't let things destroy it. You can't let the stalks freeze. You know, you have to be careful. Both the 8 of Stones and the Chariot tell you that your 9, your goodness, that end result, that reward is coming. But there are times, there are periods through that journey where what you have to do is be patient and realize sometimes you don't see the growth. You can't see what's happening. Doesn't mean it's not happening. Time is moving. But, there's not a lot of growth on a really cold day, right? So hang in there. You're going to have a really great year. It sounds like it's going to be super interesting. Yeah, you're going to get all that peace. So we're going to go through this deck one more time, and I want to show you how many positive and major arcana cards you had come up for the year, okay? Your final cards were Dominion, the Two of Wands. That's a card of peace. That is a card of balance. That is, you being seen in a really good light. And that's good because it really is a 2-year. So it's, as we evolve numerologically, well, it's a 4-year, but because 2002. Some people would call it, you don't pay attention to the 2000 year and you just look that it's 2020, and so that's a 2-year. Some people say you add the 2000 with the 2 and it's a 4-year. But either way, they're both earthly numbers. 2 is associated with the moon, but what I mean is it's an even number. Even numbers go better with Virgos, okay? So that's really good. And then you've got the Chariot here. 8 of Stones, which is saying hold on, keep watering your garden, keep on top of things. The harvest is coming. The Mother of Cups. I think we have, for some of our Cancers this year, we've got fertility, definitely. But the 9 of Stones and the 3 of Stones. So these are really great omens for work, for money, and for being recognized for what you do. They can be raises. These sword cards, and there was a few of them here, kind of, what did we say, July, like before your birthday. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of challenge before your birthday, but those challenges are ending, okay? So those are just about over because they came with the 10 of Wands. You see that? Those 10s that they're the bad things, the negative energy behind them. You see, these are piercing the negativity and putting a protective force field in front of all that. So meaning everything's behind you. The swords are preventing that from coming back, okay? Power of the Earth, 4 more. Again, good for money. Don't doubt yourself. The 3 of Cups, love overflowing. With the Ace of Cups, okay? Again, change, that period that's going to be moving on. Justice, the Hermit. I think you're going to have a period of time in the spring where you're going to kind of pull within, and your energy, you're going to need to save your energy. You're going to be putting a lot of energy into one particular part of your life. But you're a really fully developed human being. Okay, we got a little change to go through. Sometimes change isn't great. Just hang in there. Really consider that offer coming to you, okay? Because you have that big offer. The star is going to put you in a place, and don't be afraid to, just take off in a new direction, okay? So there you have it. A very interesting year for you, 2020. Thank you, all my Virgos. I'm going to just wish you love and light in 2020. Again, please like and subscribe and share, of course. So there you have it. Please tune in and see what more videos I put in. I'll probably try to do a January reading for you also. Okay? There you have it. Bless.